I'm Mac. This is More Than a Game, and today we're in the spotlight with Deshawn Lewis. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. How about you?
I'm doing well. Deshawn attended Detroit Country Day and now attends Aquinas College. The first question is, what is your most memorable moment from your career? From maybe middle school
Almost,
to college, anywhere.
almost memorable moment
Yeah.
would definitely probably have to be the my high school championship game that I
Mm-hmm.
played in my sophomore year. That was just huge because the year prior I didn't play. I was hurt. I think I hurt my hand or I broke my hand or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But yeah, so I came back and played the next year, played like sporadic minutes. We had a lot of depth on our team and ended up playing a lot in the semifinals and final game in the finals to the championship. And that was just like, that moment was crazy. I remember coming in and we were down like 7 or something. And I was at the scores table like, yo, because the previous year we were there and got beat by Lance and Sexton. And I was like, yo, we
Mm-hmm.
can't have this happen again.
Yeah, I
And I
remember
went
that.
in there and scored like 6 straight or something like that, and like helped us come back. I think that was like the last. I think I scored 8 in the entire game, but
Yeah.
just being able to have that momentum was always something special to me.
So was that one of the you just winning that championship and really be able to like come together with those guys and just come back and get the dub? Was that something that you think that you'll be able to tell as a story, like maybe to I don't know, it's a far time away, but like maybe your kids or something like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Tell to my kids and just using in life as far
Yeah.
as just persevering, even like just being down and coming back. You always have a chance as long as it's time on the clock. So you
Hmm.
can always translate it, switch the story up into different things.
Yeah. So being on that championship team, how did you come into your role, or what was the role given to you, and what did you feel that you had to work on and do better?
Coming into like with that team, we were just like super talented,
Hmm.
and we had a lot of older guys who understood, how to win, what it took. So it was really just me appreciating being where I was. Like
Hmm.
I was a freshman on varsity, didn't really play, so my sophomore year was kind of like my freshman year,
Yeah.
and it was just me accepting whatever role was available, whatever could get me out there on the court. So just playing hard,
Hmm.
doing all the little things, and understanding that my time was gonna come.
Hmm. How were those practices? Like, were they super serious practices? Since you were saying there was more of a older team, more seniors, was it really a serious year to just you guys had to win the championship?
Yeah, definitely. So I remember walking into practice. We had been practicing for like a week or so,
Hmm.
and my assistant coach, who is Rick Palmer, who is currently the head coach of Brother Rice right
Hmm.
now, he walked up to me. He was like, "Hey, yo, you haven't scored." He told me I haven't scored all week. Like it was our first week of practice. He was like, "You
Yeah.
haven't scored all week," and he was like, "Welcome to varsity." And it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's just crazy. He just used to mess with me, but it's something that
Hmm.
I had to get accustomed to, especially being around that talented of a bunch.
Hmm. So transitioning into college, do you have a favorable moment that you have from college that you'll also remember for the rest of your life?
Uh, yeah, definitely. It was this past January. Been up at Indiana Tech.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we lost the game, but
Hmm.
it was one of my individually is one of my best games. It
Hmm.
was my best game I ever played,
Hmm.
as far as me scoring 37. And I hate for like my favorite memory to be,
Yeah.
points wise or anything like that. But it's a backstory to that 37 because the year prior, like last year, I wasn't playing at all.
Hmm.
I transferred. This is my first year at Aquinas College.
Hmm.
I went to Grand Valley State, played there for 3 years.
Yeah.
A redshirt in my sophomore year,
Hmm.
but like my junior year, I didn't. My freshman and junior year, my freshman year I played a little bit.
Hmm.
Sophomore year got injured. Junior year didn't play at all.
Hmm.
So that 37 actually meant something
Yeah.
because at when I was at GV, I kind of I began to lose confidence a
Yeah.
little bit, lose confidence in my game and myself, and just being able to go out there and understanding that you can still play. Um,
Hmm.
you just gotta keep keep working, and like your time's gonna come.
Yeah. So, can you give a little detail on how that 37 went? Were you just hot from the three, or you was getting all these and ones, or just how did that go down?
Yeah. So I hit seven. I went 7 to 10 from the three.
Mm.
Couple mid range, couple layups, and some and some free throws. That's all I can remember. I just remember really not really missing anything.
Yeah. So was it
Yeah.
really like get Deshaun the ball, like give it to him and see if like?
Nah, it was really in a flow. It wasn't even,
Mm-hmm.
and that's crazy because normally when that happened, I mean, yeah, kind of, but it was still in the flow. I
Yeah.
wasn't really taking like crazy shots or anything like that. It was really just in the flow of the game. Like I just looked up. It was just one of them games like you didn't really keep track of like how many you have. Like they had to tell you after,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was shocked myself.
So you mentioned how you attended Grand Valley to begin with, and you had a red shirt. How was your experience coming from high school to college, and can you explain a little bit of your recruitment process and the colleges that you were thinking of, and how you chose Grand Valley at first? Can you explain a little bit of that?
Yeah, definitely. So I had 3 offers coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
One, well, I had Grand Valley, Tuskegee, and Saint. What was the other college called? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the third college.
Right.
But it was a small D1 out in Pennsylvania, and I chose GV because it felt more like home to me. And I would talk to other coaches and things like that, and their advice to me would be pick somewhere that feels like home, and somewhere where you could be happy, even when times get rough. So in college, times are gonna be tough. I mean, for the most part, you're gonna be away from your family, and basketball may not be going well. So pick somewhere where you're still having a great experience off the court. So that was out of the 3 that I did have. I felt like Grand Valley had all of those things. So I went there. First practice, I was like on the first team. I was doing really well, everything. And honestly, I look back at it and I believe that I got comfortable. And I believe that I got complacent. I let outside factors, take me away from my focus.
Yeah.
And it's really easy when you get into college. So I blame like the first year of me really not playing. I take that one on me. And just not continue putting in the hard work that I put in to lead me to that point. Second year, I ended up getting injured. Unfortunately, I had worked really hard that summer, but just came in, got injured, and that scratched that year. Well, that was the red shirt. So I spent my red shirt year doing a lot of workouts, things like that. I had a part like me and one of my teammates worked out like every day. Weight room, gym. Thinking coming back to my junior year, thinking that I'm gonna play a lot. This is my time. Like I waited, and I just set my entire junior year, and it was crazy. But I would say definitely pick somewhere that they want you. You will have a great college experience on and off the court, and pick somewhere that fits you, like the system. Looking back on it, I don't really think Grand Valley system fit me per se. But that just.
So, saying that you redshirted your sophomore year, do you think that was a big roadblock in your college career, or do you think that was something that was kind of beneficial since you got to focus more on yourself, getting workouts in, being in the weight room, and coming back stronger per se your junior year? Do you think that was more beneficial, or how would you say, was that a roadblock?
It was a blessing in disguise, honestly, because with that time I was able to grow as a person. I found my mentor, Dr. Damon Arnold. I came across him around that year, just started spending a lot of time in his office, and he really pushed me mentally to think past basketball and to think past my injury. So he was the first person that introduced me into like books and reading, stock market. Like I started just evolving mentally, and that started to transfer over, on the court as far as just understanding why I'm here, understanding that everything that happens in life is due to, the choices that you've made or things that you've done that's led you to the point that you're at. So
Mm-hmm.
For so long I would blame like, it's my coach fault.
Yeah.
They just not messing with me. Like I'm better. But really, it's something that you have to look at. You have to be able to be a man and look in the mirror when things aren't going your way and ask yourself like why. So
Mm-hmm.
that year I did a lot of growing as far as just being able to do some self reflecting
Mm-hmm.
and while at the same time working on my game and things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
So heading into college, coming from high school, what's something that you continue like to work on now, and something that you had to really work on heading into college, maybe mentally or just with basketball wise, physically?
Probably listening,
Mm-hmm.
and being taken off like a high horse that I was on
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, people, these coaches have been doing this. They have seen players like you
Yeah.
for 20 plus years. Like they've been around the game, and you're nothing. There's exceptional guys it's like Zion and
Mm-hmm.
LeBron and things like that, but like normally you're nothing new under the sun. And
Yeah.
for a lot of times we think that we are, and that's really not the case.
Yeah.
So actually just sitting down, listening, um, really working on specific things in my game, I
Mm-hmm.
would say, like in workouts instead of just going out there trying to do everything, like focusing on specific things. I would say watching film is a huge key
Mm-hmm.
because you just learn it's so many different nuances of the game that's within that film that can really help you.
Yeah.
But I would say those things definitely.
So heading a little bit away from basketball, what's something that you're doing now to maybe work on yourself in college that has nothing to do with basketball, more mentally? I said you said you're reading books now more, and you had your mentor to help you out more mentally. But what are some other things that you're doing to help prepare yourself for maybe life?
Okay, so right now I just launched my podcast, which is
Mm-hmm.
called Just Thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We have like 2 episodes on there right now, but so I'm just building that up, building
Yeah.
my podcast, building my network as far as different people that I know, just to put me in places to
Mm-hmm.
be successful.
Definitely.
So my podcast right now, and just building a network with a number of different people,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to constantly work on my personal branding
Mm-hmm.
because it's very important.
So what gave you the idea to start a podcast?
Um, I just wanted to put people's stories out there.
Mm-hmm.
As far as because growing up and going through the world, getting older,
Mm-hmm.
especially like being in your 20s and things like that, it's a lot of gray area. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this, but don't really know if this is the right thing to do, or I see this person doing that, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't really know it's the right thing to do. And it's just a lot of compare and contrast,
Yeah.
and really just to have successful people who I
Mm-hmm.
deem successful really come on, share their story, share their journey, share the areas that they're knowledgeable in, but
Yeah.
also show the side of, it took years to get this. It
Mm-hmm.
took me just grinding, losing, failing,
Mm-hmm.
order to see the success that you're seeing now. And it's great. And I'm proud of you because you're starting young.
Thank you.
You're in high school, starting young, and that's all it's about. It's not about where you start, it's about how you finish and
Mm-hmm.
really just sticking with it. So I kind of wanted to present that on my podcast and
Mm-hmm.
just have a little bit of positivity in people's life for 30 minutes, something
Mm-hmm.
that may inspire. They may
Yeah.
be headed to work or coming from work or going somewhere, and I just want to, have that little 30 minutes of inspiration
Mm-hmm. Well,
that they
definitely.
can.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. But so back with your podcast, everyone wants to grow with either what you're doing with your podcast. Where can you see? What do you want from yourself? Say 10 years from now. What do you think is your goal 10 years from now?
Definitely to be financially independent,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as like my business thriving enough to where I don't have to work 9 to 5, clock in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be everyone's goal
Yeah.
because I heard one of my mentors say, when you're working a job, like really what's like your worth? Is
Mm-hmm.
that paycheck really all your worth. You know, only you know your worth,
Yeah.
and only you can deem your worth. So
Mm-hmm.
that's that. I feel very strongly on that. And in 10 years, I just plan to be financially independent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So looking back, maybe in say maybe middle school, maybe high school, is there anything that you would have changed leading up to your life right now?
Leading up to my life right now,
Or is there anything you would have told
uh,
yourself, like advice that you would have gave yourself?
yeah, definitely to work harder. Don't care about what other people think.
Mm-hmm.
As far as if you want to do something or go for something, like do it,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously they're gonna look at you in the beginning like, yo, what are you doing? Like, this is out of your comfort zone, like
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But once you're consistent with it,
Mm-hmm.
people just out of thin air just get this like magical respect for you,
Yeah.
because it's like they know in their heart that they're not consistent in things that
Yeah.
they want or they're striving to get. So they're just gonna watch your journey and see you become successful instead of following their heart. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say just staying consistent and understanding that everyone's scared of something, and
Mm-hmm.
understanding that we're all fighting battles from within. So that's why it's so important just to worry about what you have going on, because
Mm-hmm.
like deep inside, like you're an entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's inside of you. That's a lot to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine comparing and worrying about the next man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So just understanding that at a younger age,
Yeah.
understanding that the only person that you're in competition is yourself.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. So the final question being, is there anything that you would like to say to the viewers, maybe me or just anybody that will be watching this video, maybe looking to play college basketball or just want to better themselves in life?
I'm gonna answer the first one as far as people want to play college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, grades are very important.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining a good GPA, especially during the college process,
Mm-hmm.
is just one of those things that a coach can look at and have to, if he's like deciding between you and another person.
Mm-hmm.
Being coachable, because these are like lists that coaches look at, like
Yeah.
the little things that people always say, yo, I don't really got to worry about that. I got game. It's a lot of people that got game who's never touched the college,
Yeah.
floor. So.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. That was the final question. I'd like to say thank you. I remember watching you play in high school. You were a great role model for me. I remember my dad was talking about how good of a student you were, and just someone I really looked up to. I remember wearing your number. I remember you were number 34, and I wore number 34. So, thank you for that.
No, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And like I said, man, just keep up the good work, on the court and off the court, because obviously you're starting young. You're doing something that you're passionate about. Just keep it up, man. And in the next 10 years, you're going to look up and be like, yo, you're going to be proud of yourself because you put in all the work, you stay consistent. And, yeah, man, the sky's the limit.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
This was Deshawn Lewis in the Spotlight. Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.